Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1. RP1 is the mod pack that turns Kerbal Space Program into a much more realistic and consequently more difficult rocket space simulator by giving you a real scale solar system, realistic parts, and historical contracts. And if you're interested in following along with RP1 and trying it out for yourself, you'll find all the information you need down in the description below. What you see in front of me, well, the most of it here is the Atlas Stentor rocket, which has flown twice. Once totally successfully put itself into orbit. The second time last episode, which by the way you can find a link to up here. Not quite so successful. The Stentor non-nominal thrust. It lost thrust halfway through the through its burn, and it couldn't make orbit. And what it was trying to do was put a solar satellite, not this one, a different satellite than what you see here. I'll get to this in just a little bit. Into a orbit for this contract here for solar powered satellite, and also attempting a polar orbit in simulation. It could do both at the same time, and yeah, it fell apart, didn't quite work out, didn't get those two contracts, so we're gonna have to try again. That SN3 of the Atlas Stentor rocket is now being integrated, won't be ready until, what do we got, 122 days, so it's going to take a little while. But in the meantime, I had unlocked some better SRBs, and here we're specifically taking a look at the baby sergeants. We have a cluster of 3 down here, and then a single baby sergeant up here at the top. And then a little payload at the very, very top of that. That is going to be collecting cosmic ray science, and that's in service of another contract, which unfortunately I can't accept right now because I can only hold so many contracts at a time. But once, if this guy is successful, this is going to be the next rocket that's going to fly, and its goal is to put itself into a fairly eccentric orbit. With a perigee of between 200 and 900 kilometers and an apogee of over 1,500 kilometers. This could do it comfortably, though I did have some adventures with RCS and losing attitude control partway through the ascent. That was totally on me, and I almost got to that requirement at the conclusion of the last episode, and time forced me to stop. So we're going to pick up right where we left off with trying to get this contract to, or this rocket to do what is required of it. Also, what we have happening is in the hangar we have the Bell X6. It's getting close to being halfway built. This is my rocket plane that's going to attempt to cross the Karman line to help work towards the X-Planes program. I have my 2 pilots right now. They're getting training with the new X-15 cockpit, so hopefully all that stuff will be coming up in a little bit. But we're going to be starting off with this fella right here, and to help me with the RCS business, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into here and I'm going to put in a boot file, and I had an Atlas Orbit boot file. That's it right there, and that at the very least turns on the RCS for me. It won't do much else, but for now, at least it'll keep me from forgetting to put on the RCS. And I'm really thinking too, I might not need this cluster of 3 baby sergeants. I might be able to do it with just a single baby sergeant. But you know what? One change at a time. Let's do that, and let's simulate this, and let's see if we can get it done. Okay, so that I can get away with. The RCS is on. Thank you very much. And last time I went for a 200 by 200 orbit, and it left me just a little bit shy of what I needed, so I'm going to go for a 300 by 300 orbit. And other than that, I'm just going to go through and make sure everything else is what it normally is. That's looking good. Under options, auto stage is on. It's going to stop at stage number 2. We'll stage the SRBs manually. I'm going to try and see if I can use some smart parts or something like that to deal with all that stuff. But for now, I think we are ready to go. So we're going to engage, and we're going to hit spacebar. Try that again. Okay. And one of the requirements of this contract, as well as is for it to collect cosmic ray science. It only needs to collect, is it, yeah, 1%? I think it's 1% of the cosmic ray science. It takes like a couple of days to collect it all. I did play with the idea of putting solar panels on this thing to have it see if it could collect all the cosmic ray science, and that might be something for the future, but unfortunately my solar panels are really crappy right now, and the amount of solar panels I would have had to put on to run this electrically expensive experiment, like I can actually look here. It's not there, but it is fairly expensive to run the experiment. It would have been kind of prohibitive, all the solar panels I would have needed, so that's going to have to wait. But I do have enough batteries aboard that it'll run for over 2 days, which should collect me, yeah, I think it was like 90 days, I'm sorry, to collect all of it. It's going to run for over 2 days, and that should be enough for it to fulfill the contract. That's the plan anyway. So we'll see how this fella does. And again, what we're shooting for initially is to get an apogee of over 200 kilometers. It was it? No, it was high enough last time. I'm pretty sure it was. I think I was thinking it needed to be 300. It only needs to be 200. At least that's what I wrote down. Anyway. Here we go. And we are getting close to... Oh, I know what happened last time. Let's do this staging event coming up here. 5 seconds for this. 2, 1, and there we go. On to the Stentor. Lovely dovely. Off we go. I know what happened is at actually 200 kilometers, the Jeb actually cut the Stentor before it finished it. It actually was able to insert itself into orbit without any help from the SRBs, and I didn't want to do that. Because once I shut down the Stentor, or Big Jeb shuts down the Stentor, I can't reignite it, so I want it to run the Stentor dry. That's what I want to have happen. Okay, let's keep going here. Oh, we are in space. Now we can see this science being, it's 90 days, almost 91 days for it to collect it all. So, yeah. So 2 days worth of electric charge should be enough, I think. Let's give it a little time warping again. And as been the plan of late with this rocket, with these SRBs on top, the plan is to run the Stentor dry, lock this to the prograde vector, ride up to apogee, and then fire off the SRBs. And the SRBs run for close to, what's that, 5.8 seconds each, so call that 6, call it 12 seconds. So I'll fire them up 6 seconds before I get to apogee. Now let's see if I can figure out a way to get KOS to do this for me. Okay, are we gonna run dry here? That's the thing. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, that stage is dry. Disengage McJeb and lock that to the prograde vector. And we ended up with an apogee of 300 kilometers. I really like it. That's really nice. McJeb did actually a really good job. Perigee is 65 kilometers. Like, we're almost in an orbit. I love these little baby sergeants. Like, they pack a lot of DV. There's still a total of 2,731 meters per second left just in the 4 baby sergeants altogether. And but they're really light, so it's really perfect for this rocket that doesn't have... Oh wait, we're there. Let's go. That's 1, 2. Like I said, I'm not sure that second one is necessary. All right, they pack a punch. So we ended up with an orbit perigee of 300 kilometers. I like it. And we have an apogee of 58,000 kilometers. It just needs to be above 1,500. So, I mean, oh my gosh, that's lovely. But you know what? That's going to get me all kinds of science. Like that's, I think, high space and all that. Maybe I should actually... Doesn't cost me much to do the simulation. Why don't we do a little bit of time warping and just see how this does with the contract. So right now we are collecting in space low. I do not know when we get to space high. And I believe there's a space medium, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's the battery warning on the previous stage. So don't care. Oh, I still want to fly this rocket. No more electricity that again, the previous stage. This guy has, again, 2 days, 7 minutes of electric charge. Just in the batteries. Okay, we're space low so far. Oh, we lost a signal. Oh, that might be something to think about. Maybe I'm glad I've never had to think about communications. Now, I think we are just in a dead spot. There we go. We've picked up another signal, and it's a good one. Nice, strong signal. Okay. We are still space low. Yeah, getting out to apogee just to see what the situation is. Still space low at 2,000 kilometers. Still space low. Come on. How high is space low? That's crazy. $10,000 kilometers. Let's stop the time warp. Make sure that's not still space low. They're not messing about. Oh. Oh, whoa, my signal is weak. Okay, I don't know what just happened here. I got a freeze. Why do I got a freeze? Oh, no. I think I'm getting a crash. Crash averted. And that's a computer crash, by the way. We are still space low, but my signal is super weak. See that? So I'm only transmitting at 4 bits per second, it says. No, here it says 2 bits. I don't think we're acquiring any science. We aren't. Like, it's being transmitted as fast as it's being collected. So far it's okay. But I still got a long way to go, so I might need to up my comms here. I have no connection. Alright, so upping comms is in the... Looks like it's in the cards. That's okay. So I am not picking up anything. Explorer 1 batteries are almost dead. They can't be. How long have we been in flight for? 2 hours. Did I misread that and it said 2 hours instead of 2 days? Oh, that's entirely possible. I only got 15 minutes of electric charge. I think I misread. I think I missed. So we got to up the communication. Okay, this thing is, we are out of electricity. So this is not good enough. Okay. We got to up the communications and revert to editor. And we need more batteries. So electric charge. Here it says perpetual. Oh, that's because it's connected to the launch clamps. So if I take that off. 2 hours. 2 hours. Is that... No, 2 hours is right. 2 hours is all it needed. No. This is all cool. 2 hours is all it needed. I remember working that out. No. I'm sure of that. Am I? No, I'm not so sure. I thought I worked that out last episode, but now I'm not so sure. Let's get in here and look at this. So it takes 91 days to collect it all, and I'm supposed to collect 1%? Was it 1% or 0.1%? Maybe I should check on these things. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of guessing all the time, let's take off one of these contracts and add on another. And I have to remember to switch this back, but it is 1%. Transmit a day's worth, 1% a day, a day's worth of cosmic science. Oh my God, read. A day is 24 hours, you goof. Okay, so yeah, well, good time to realize that before I launch it. Oh, did I just lose? Oh, for goodness sakes. Did I save it the way I did? What a dope. Okay, well, at least the rocket's actually not any different. Huh, you're special. Okay, let's... Alright, does that have the boot file in it? I just lost my whole rocket, but thankfully it's not so much a big deal. Okay. Here we go. We need a day's worth of electricity. We have 2 hours, so we need 12 times. Pretty close. 12 times what we got, so we're going to need a lot more batteries. I might be needing these 3 after all. So 12 times 250. Let's try 3,000 kilojoules. Apply and resize. There we go. Now it's getting a little longer, this thing up here. That's a day. A day and 6 hours. A day's worth is all it said. So let's go with a day and 6 hours. Let's go actually a little less. I wouldn't mind saving as much weight as I can. What's 2,500 kilojoules of electricity do for me? A day and 1 hour. That's a little tight. Let's go with the 3,000. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's all right. The one I guess I got to do a couple things then. All right, let's throw this back into the sub-assemblies. We got to put a decoupler on it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Boom, boom. And this is the new, what is this? The Explorer 1. Explorer 1 payload right there. There we go. Yep, delete the old one. Bring up. Don't save this. My Atlas Stentor with the Solar Face 1. That one has everything there. Load. All the way up to here. That payload comes out. And this payload goes in. And we make the top there the root part. And that should be good. Now, if I take this off again, 1 day, 6 hours of electric charge. Still has 10,441 meters. It added some weight. It did. Okay. Well, nothing for it. Let's give it a go. So this is... Nope. We're going to save this as Explorer 1. Solar Face 1. Yep. All right, that old one. Okay, simulate again. Check in staging. I should really check the staging. So, yep, I should have figured that was wrong. This needs to go here. And then that goes there, and then that, and then that. Yes. Okay. Save, simulate. Alright, that I don't need. This engage. Is everything still the same? Sure looks like it, so just hit the spacebar. And now I do have the contract here, so I can at least look at
Yeah, it says very clearly, transmit a day's worth of cosmic ray science. A day. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. I need people watching over my shoulder, like, all the time. Alright, I'm gonna get her done. And as I was mentioning last episode, when I unlocked the node that gave me this, whatever it is, the Geiger counter for the cosmic ray science, I got lots of scientific equipment now. So, firing up rockets, especially if I can get myself some better solar panels, just collect science, just throw them up there and let them do their job. That's something to look forward to as well. So lots of new science to get. Okay. Alrighty, and staging, and there we go. Stentor rocket is next. Let it sort of find its orientation again. Okay. Do that, and again, 140, we are collecting. Oh, I never did look at the antennas. Ah, I forgot about. Okay, let's first see if this thing can still make the orbit, but I didn't even look at antennas, for goodness sakes. That's another problem. So it might need even more batteries. No, let's go back. There's no point, because I'm going to have to put even more in it. Okay, revert back to the editor. Communications. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have yet to do anything. I've not looked at this at all. So, communications. Here we are, down here. Let's close some of these ones that we aren't really looking at. So, communication. I closed it by mistake. So, antenna is enabled. I can increase the size of the transmitter up to 60. And I can see down here that that means a lot more power. A lot more power. Oh my gosh. Right now, it only uses when the antenna is active and it's transmitting, and it will be transmitting because it's going to be having to transmit science continually. It only uses 20 watts. But if I put this up to 60, I like 18,000 watts. Oh my gosh. Now there's a tech level. I'm at tech level 0, I suppose. I also have different bands. So UHF, VHF. Oh, and that's it. What is active transmission time? I don't know what that means. Active transmission time. Antenna planning. Okay, we got a button. We've got a button. We've got a button. So, ground station tech level is, I think, 0. I don't recall ever having up the tech level, or maybe you can check that. I don't know how that all works either. We are looking at the... Okay, I see what's going on here. So, maybe I don't. We got the base station, which is 50 data. I don't know what that means. That deep. I don't know what it is. Decibytes per minute or something? I don't. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, so I guess the antenna has to match. So if your station is UHF, Oh, here we go. I'm not going to any planets, so I don't need to worry about that. But primary antenna, avionics, 1.5. Pure distance max is, so maybe I shouldn't go as far as I'm going. Like really, just get it above 1500 and call it a day. Maybe that's my issue. You know what I mean? Don't get that. So if I put this up to 1500, what does this all mean in kilometers? What does that number mean? I don't know what this means. Transmission and receiving rate, I'm assuming that's what the TX RX is, at max distance is 32 bits per second. Is that with what I have right now? Primary antenna avionics procedural. So if I increase this, does that change? Oh, that changes the number there. I'm not sure I have to change it, but I did definitely use it. But maybe what happens is it's only going to pick it up when it gets around to the base station. And these other stations are crap. I don't know. So ground station. Oh, what does this mean? Vessel to vessel. Okay, ground. Oh, vessel to. Okay. Vessel to ground station. Vessel to. Okay, that changes the numbers here. I don't know. It seems to me there's nothing that talks about range. Distance max, let's call that 1500 kilometers. So when I'm 1500 kilometers, what does this number mean? It's just adding zeros onto it. It's just in meters. It's just the distance in meters. That's it. What if I keep adding zeros on that? It doesn't seem to affect anything. Megameters, gigameters, terameters, kilometers. Those are all my various ground stations. They're all the same. What does apply? What's, oh, ground station tech level. Okay, let's close the plan. There's a plan button. What's the plan button? Show details. Plan. Okay. What if I made these terameters and I said plan? Ah, no connection. Okay, okay. So according to this, now I see it. Now I see it. I should have a connection here. Now I got up to like 60. Maybe that's my issue. Plan. No connection at 60. So the key to this, okay, the plan's working. I'm making sense now. So the min distance is only about going to be 300 kilometers, and that's not a problem. But this max distance, what is it at 100? I got up like a pretty high distance. Like what is it at 30,000 kilometers? Plan. I have no connection. Okay. So what happens at 10,000 kilometers? So I just have to keep my distance from getting the, that I can't. Okay, 10,000 kilometers is okay. 20,000, because now that I'm looking at this, I don't want to increase the amount of batteries this thing has to carry. Oh, 20,000, no connection. 10,000. Oh, still no connection. 5,000. No connection. Oh my gosh. 2,000. We are connected. 3,000. No connect. Oh my gosh. So really, no connection at 2,500. So I need to keep the apogee down. That's what this is saying to me. I need to keep that apogee down. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, an option too. Well, let's launch this thing. Now this is making sense. So I'm not going to mess with the antennas, but I do need to keep the apogee from getting over. I think it was the... I'm glad I saw that planner button. That's cool. Where is that again? Here. I need to keep... I think 2500 was loss of signal, wasn't it? No, 2500's okay. 2600? I think 25 might be my good, but 3000... Oh no, 3000 says it's okay. I'm losing track of what my brain is saying here. This was 200. 3000 was okay. 4000. Okay, what's the show details do? Whatever. Is this what it was doing before? 5000. Did I have an extra 0 in there somewhere? Stop doing that. Don't show details. Plan. 6,000. Now, I'm sure before it was saying no connection, so now I'm super confused. 10,000. Plan. Ground station? Is that? Let's actually even use one of our crap. Oh, here we go. I have to select these. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. 2,000. 2,000's okay. 2500 is not. So I need to keep the apogee below 2000. All right. All right. All right. Let's give this a simulate. Okay, so we're going to engage. We're going to turn that off. And again, just to very quickly check options. Nothing's changed, so that's good. Let's start this up. And let's get that contract. So when this thing says get above 1,500 kilometers, you don't want to get much above that unless you want to start mucking around and putting in better antennas. But boy, the electricity cost of those antennas get pretty expensive pretty fast. All right, that planner was lovely. I'm sure that will become very useful in the future as we try to go for higher and higher altitudes. So what we're going to do here is just see what does the apogee get to with this current configuration. Ways to bring down the delta V. Number one is I could just lose the trio of baby sergeants that are here and see if just a single stage up at the top is going to get the job done. And number two, if that comes out to be not working for me, the other thing I could do is just simply take fuel out. I'm trying to think. Just take some of the fuel out of... Well, I guess I could take fuel out of the sergeants. Maybe that's the better plan. That might seem a more sensible... Well, I don't know. Or take fuel out of the booster down here. Not sure. Not sure, not sure, not sure. But now we should have our day plus. Oh, that says 3 hours, but I think that should hopefully go to... I changed the batteries. I'm sure I did. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right. Starting to do the old pitch down. Let's add another time warp to this. Yeah, I think this amount of electric charge is based upon what it's using at the current moment. Okay. Look at that pitch down. Wowzers. Okay, that is good. Disengage McJeb and engage the prograde. And we're about 1.5 minutes from apogee. So about 6 seconds ahead of that, we're going to stage, see what we get. Our current perigee is 10 kilometers. And it is not using any of this electric charge, but it is using the batteries in here. I think that's what it's basing this calculation on. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my golly. Let's get up there. All right, this is good too. And now I can see if things go green for the necessary orbital parameters and all of that kind of business. Okay, we're getting in close. 7, go. Okay, one more. Okay, so that put, oh my God, it's way too much. 24,000 kilometers. So we are definitely going to have to bring this under some control. It does say now 1 day and 5 hours worth of electric charge, so that will be fine. It's got to stay in orbit for 24 hours. Oh, so it is just a clock. That's all. Just a clock. So that's all good, but I don't like the altitude it's getting to. So we're going to see if, I'm thinking just taking off the 3 other baby sergeants. Revert to editor. As much as I like that trio, I'm thinking I'm just going to, let's remove this. Let's remove that. Let's remove this. And let's put that onto here. And this is probably a little high in the air now. Well, maybe not. Okay, let's check our staging. That's that. So we'll try it now just with a single. Actually, I kind of like the way that fits nicely over that decoupler now. I was thinking I was going to maybe shrink this, but now that that's like that, I like it. I like it. I think I can get away with, now that I'm looking at this, just the regular, a regular little decoupler. That's the cluster of 3 decoupler. I don't want to do that, but if I just use a normal, this is the procedural decoupler. This is a ring decoupler, but if I just scale the diameter down, that might just look, it just looks a little cleaner. I think the, I don't need the, this fella, the hollow interstage business, because I think that's kind of like, this is accomplishing much the same thing. Okay, these two go together. Boom, Bob's your uncle. Okay. Yeah, let's save it, simulate. Close that, enable that, and stage. What am I doing? Contracts. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Faster, faster, faster. And now I'm thinking, if this is still too much, do I take just a little bit of fuel right out of the top? Or do I take fuel out of like this Stentor stage? Or do I take fuel out of here? Just to reduce the amount of DV. I'm kind of leaning towards the top. My logic's always making the top as light as you can. Okay, I don't understand why that didn't stage. Why did that not stage? I had to stage that manually, by the way. I don't understand Do I have the staging? Maybe there was something wrong in the staging when I did the little bit of a change there. It's okay now, but that was a little weird. I'll have to check the staging on that. But yeah, the engine flamed out, and then I staged it manually, and somehow the Stentor still lit. It's supposed to require ullage in order to work, but who knows? Who knows? Alright, and about 30 seconds left on the Stentor as it pitches way down. Okay, let's take the time warp off. And yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna reach the target perigee. And oh, it did reach the target perigee. McJeb just did that. You're a stinky bottom. Oh, right at the end. Right at the end. It staged that. Okay, well let's try firing off the SRB and seeing what that gets us anyway. So maybe a little less fuel in this Stentor stage might be the way to go. Just if anything, just to get McJeb not to, you know, cut the script on me. Okay, and fire. Still way too 5,000 kilometers on that. Okay, back we go. Vert to editor. Where's my button? Endless tweaking with these things. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, staging. Why did it do that? That's fine. That's fine. I don't know why. Everything's fine. Something weird happened. Okay, I think it's the easiest is just to turn down the utilization on this tank, right? Real fuels. Utilization's at 100%. What if we just turn the utilization down to 90%? Just for a number. Why? Can I not? Oh, there it goes. What the heck? Why can't I simply turn down the utilization? That's all I want to do. Don't make me change the dimensions of the tank. It allows me to change fuel that way. What if... Okay, let's see if I can just put a number in here. What if I put in 90? 99. This must be something weird about balloon tanks. You can't put the utilization at whatever you want. Very interesting. That's a little bit... Well, maybe just making it shorter might be the thing to do. See if I can just make it like 90% of the length. The length is, so take off about a meter. It's about close to 10 meters long. Take off close to, you know, not quite, let's call it 8.5 meters. So we go like this. Of course, that messes up all kinds of things. And there we go. I'm gonna have to retool this tank, unfortunately, which I really don't want to do. Of course, textures are okay. I can fix the textures easy enough. Okay, I'm not going to save this. So I'm thinking there should be a better solution to doing that. But we'll just simulate. Okay, engage. And again, auto stage. I don't understand why it didn't work before, but we'll just do that. Maybe I can affect the utilization on this lower tank. I don't know. I don't know what I've been told. Okay, contracts. Okay, getting close to separation. Let's see if it does it this time. Same thing. That I don't know. All these stages are the same. The only thing that's different between this rocket and the previous rocket was it's one less. Oh, I know why. Oh, for goodness sakes. This stop staging needs to be a 1. It was stop stage doing exactly what I said. That when I took the stage off the top, that first stage becomes stage 2. Okay. I knew it'd be something dumb like that. Now it's making sense. Okay, so a little bit less fuel in the Stentor here. Like I said, I'm not sure. The tooling shouldn't be expensive to retool that tank. If that's what I have to do. Alright, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bonk. And again, very close. But not quite in orbit. About as close to an orbit as you're going to get. Even got the little bit of the camera jiggle happening there. But not quite in orbit. Okay, let's lock you onto prograde. So disengage the autopilot. Lock onto prograde. This might just be the simplest solution. Just make this tank a smidge shorter. Alright, where are we at? 2 minutes to apogee. Let's settle onto that prograde before I start time warping. I still have me a feeling this is going to be too much. Just time warp, normal time warp. There it is. Time warp, normal time warp. Okay. So again, just a few seconds before we reach apogee, going to punch that thing and... Jeb's all mad at me. I'm doing what you tell me to do. Why are you so mad? Don't be mad at me. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, go. Still too much. I need to take a lot of fuel out. A lot of fuel out. Okay. But that didn't have too dramatic of an effect. Can this thing affect the utilization? No, same thing. That is so interesting. Okay. So again, I think I'll just make this tank shorter again. Like if I look at the tooling cost from what I've done so far, it's, oh my god, it's more than I would have guessed. There's the new avionics is yeah. That's the new balloon tank. Ugh. Just trying to think, maybe it is better. No, but then it's gonna do the McJeb thing of turning it off. Real fuels. This doesn't have. Now the other thing here, I'm gonna try adjusting the fuel, just the fuel amounts rather than the utilization. I don't want to retool the tank. I'm a cheap bastard. That's all it is. So we're gonna put up the length. Actually, the better plan, bring up the old Explorer 1 Stentor. Load that. Okay, that has the original on there and the saying, okay, this is all back to what it was. And instead of doing what I was doing, I'm assuming this would do everything proportionally. I'm a little worried about just taking down fuel like that. So last time I took out about 10%. 10%, that's not much, about 0.1. That's pretty close to 10%. Let's take out 20% of the fuel. I think that's pretty close to 20%. Okay, let's simulate you. I'm also starting to come to the conclusion, okay, stop at stage 1. Alright, I'm also starting to come to the conclusion, maybe it doesn't really matter. So what, it loses signal up at its apogee. It's gonna come back down, and then it'll collect science in the meantime, and then it'll transmit that. But I'm just worried it'll mess up the battery. I don't know. Like, you know, that in the meantime it's using up electricity, and then it won't collect its day's worth of cosmic ray science. I would much rather have communication pretty much the whole route. No, I think I'm doing the right thing. It's funny now how I was fighting for so long to get the DV that I require to get to an orbit, and then here I am going, oh my gosh, I have too much DV. I need to dial this back. Alright, there we go. That's what you're supposed to do. Good job. See what we get for our perigee now, with this having, I think, pretty close to about 80% of the fuel it had in it before. All right, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are out of fuel. Or did McJeb turn off? McJeb turned off. That was McJeb again. Okay, less fuel. It didn't quite run dry. Less fuel again. Okay. Revert to editor. So again, I think that's like 10%. And that's like another 10%. So now I think we're at about 60% of what was there. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, simulate. So much less fuel. Okay, engage, go. Get this sucker yet. Okay. Shows you, like, you know, I'm taking out a lot of the fuel at the top stage, but the total delta V of the rocket actually is not decreasing all that dramatically, because you're also reducing the mass. It sort of is a good illustration of that kind of... You get that diminishing returns by adding more fuel. Now it's just that working in the opposite direction. Okay. On to the next stage here. Now I'm a little... Oh, no, but... Am I getting wacky residuals? That might have more to do with the RCS. There's an RCS tank here. Is it here or at the bottom? Somewhere. There. Yeah, here it's using more. It's because this is using the HTP from two different tanks. That's why this HTP... I don't know. I'm sort of I'm bothered by this because I'm worried that by reducing the amount of fuel in here that this thing's getting an imbalance. You know what I mean? And I have way too much now RP1 in it. We'll see when we get to the end, which is going to be in 20 seconds. And but if I run out of HTP, I think I've also run out of ability to... I know what I need to do, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe making it shorter is the way to go. Because I think now I got way too much, but I don't think I have, I can find out right now, but I don't think I have... Oh, I do have! Okay. I do have RCS. I thought the RCS worked on a RP1. No. No, the RCS works on HTP. But we used up all the HTP. There's very little... Yeah, all the fuels are imbalanced. Gotta figure out something. Yeah, maybe just making that tank shorter is the only way to go. It just seems silly that you can't adjust the utilization, but I guess that has something to do with the balloon tanks? I don't know. But there is definitely an overload of RP1 aboard. Okay, where are we at? 20 seconds to apogee. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, go. All right. That is an apoapsis that's too small now. I can't win for trying. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's put on our puzzle hats. Okay, I'm going to put these back. What if I got into the tool editing thing? I don't think that's like, or sorry, the tank UI. I don't think this is going to be of much help. No, I don't want to screw. I'm already screwing up proportions. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. And I'm thinking of something. What if I remove the tanks? Can I now turn down the utilization? No. Okay. It was worth a thought. Okay, put the tanks back. So, I guess I'm just going to reduce this length by like 40% of what it was before? Oh my gosh. It just seems so silly. So, or reduce the length by 40%. Let's do that, because I took out about 40% of the fuel, but then again, it was totally unbalanced. So it's 9.351 times 0.6, 60%. So I'm going to change it to 5.6 meters, the length. What does that do for me? 5.6 meters. It's going to be really small. We're going to lose our Union Jack here. .6 meters. We'll scale this down a bit. So dramatic. We got a lot of thrust now in that upper stage, that's for sure. A lot of thrust in this rocket in general. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, you hold it. There it is. Hold the right mouse cursor or the right mouse button, and then you can use the scroll wheel. Okay, getting used to that W. So it's a much tinier rocket. It just looks funny. Well, we'll see what happens here. Now, what I'm getting very close to is just kind of letting this go for a little bit. Kind of look, I've spent about an hour on this now, and which, by the way, by RP1 standards is nothing to spend on a rocket. But I'm really thinking that this thing's not going to get integrated anytime soon because you know, we still got the Solar Face 1 to do before this one. So maybe put it on hold, think about it for a little bit, give her a think. You know, thinking's never a bad thing. And then come back to it. But I really don't like what I've done making this just shorter. It just seems a waste of material. I could design an entirely different second stage. Maybe that's the better plan, to have a different second stage there. To abandon the Stentor and just say, the Stentor's too much. Just go to a wussier motor and build a new second stage for this thing. Maybe that's the better plan. Keep the Atlas. Love the Atlas. But maybe instead of doing this, this might be an indicator. I mean, you know, yeah, just to design a new second stage might be the better plan. I don't know. But we'll see how this one does. We'll see how this one does. We got about 40 seconds time warping. We'll get through that in no time. Well, actually, while this is doing this, how is this now? See, now it's using up the fuel in a reasonable way. All right, we are getting to... Okay. Yeah, I think a different second stage, I think, is the better plan. All right, so we ran out of fuel that time. Sticker on the prograde. We're about 5 minutes away from apogee. Our apogee is 385 kilometers. Quite high. There's the other thing, too. Oh my gosh, that might have been... Oh my gosh, I can get up to 900 kilometers on the perigee. Why not just go for a higher orbit? Huh? I can put the perigee up to 900 kilometers and still be fine. Maybe that's so much more smarter. Use the way it was and just go for a higher orbit. That seems a hecko a lot more sensible, doesn't it? Oh wait, why am I doing non-physics warp? Physics warp. Or not. I was doing physics warp, doing regular time warp. And now I should have plenty of ours. Oh my gosh, why do I always think of these things so much after the fact? I don't know. Shoot. You big galoot. I over time warped. I stumbled on my period button. Okay, I'm gonna get this back to prograde and we're just gonna punch it. But I'm really thinking maybe one more go is not a bad idea. Because the solution might be simple and I just might be dumb. Okay, I've lost connection on this. But my orbit is lovely. I love it. 16, almost 1,700 kilometers. Oh, the perigee's too low. How did I screw that? Oh my god. That's because I over time warped. Okay. I am going to do one more. One more. Alright, so let's bring back the old version of this. The old Explorer one with the Stentor on top. And so this is now the full-length proper Stentor. And what we're just going to do is do this, simulate, and go for a higher orbit. Okay, so my perigee does need to stay under 900. So let's go for 800 kilometers. I mean, this will use up that Stentor without a problem. That might, if anything, maybe it might even be too high. I don't know. Engage that. Look at options. Options should be good. I don't know why I even looked at them. Staging. Contract. That's the way to adjust it. Just go into a higher freaking orbit, you doughhead. Okay. Why do I have this last failure converged optimizer iteration failed? I don't know. Don't know what that means. So it's going for a much higher apogee now. And I can see McJeb is going up much more steeply, or does that have to do with this error that we have here? That I do not understand what's going on. I don't know. 'Cause it sure feels like we're just kind of going up. And we're not in control at all. Like, look, these aren't moving. What's going on? Restart. Restart. What is going on? Revert. There. I wonder if McJeb is having a conniption because this is out. An 800 by 800 orbit is out of the capabilities of this rocket. I know what to do. What if I went for... What would the semi-major axis of this thing be? If I went for 2,000 plus 800 divided by 2. Oh, that's 1,400. I can't go that high. But that's what I'm wondering why I got that error. Let's try 600 then. Engage. go. Okay, no error this time. Yeah, I noticed that error that was over there, and I'm wondering if McJeb was just going, no, you can't put this thing in an 800 by 800 orbit. That is out of its capabilities. Which very likely might be true. So let's try 600 by 600. Oh, I wish I thought of this earlier. I think this is I'm feeling a little better about this. Whoa, 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 where are you pointing? Oh my gosh. It's pointing up at this stage. When it went to the prime vector guidance business, it's actually pointing, it is, I think it's doing what it should be. I'm not seeing errors. So I think McJeb is like going, oh, if we're going for 600 kilometers, man, we're going up. We're going up. I hope you want to go up. Oh, well, we're almost at the end of this stage. And wow. I might need to get into the whole, getting into all of these guidance options here. That 3 degrees per second obviously is not right. If it's pitching over at 3 degrees per second and then has to pitch back, that's clearly not cool. The thing is, there's not an enormous amount of thrust in this stage, and if it's just pointing up like this, what is our apogee? Our apogee is like 800. Why is the apogee going up so high? I don't understand you, McJeb. I really don't. Now it's pitching over, but the apogee is now over 1,000 kilometers. And now it's pitching over? Now it's pitching over? Way into space. This is how you get an 800 or 600 by 600 kilometer orbit with this kind of nonsense? I don't know. I'm no rocket scientist. I am less optimistic. This cannot be the better way to do this. This can't be right. Okay, the apogee is way, way, way too high. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going. I know I keep saying one more try, but... let's try 400 by 400. It's going to put the apogee up like that kind of crazy number. Okay, and go. Off we go. Pitching over. Okay, so it's into the pitch program. And now it's not. Now it's, I think, holding back. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know. I gotta be honest. Status here. We're into, it says here, stable guidance. Well, I mean, it looks a little more normal. I'll give it that. Okay, coming up to our first stage separation here. Like I said, apogee already at well over 400 kilometers, and I set it to 400 kilometers. And I mean, we're over the Karman line. Let's keep going. There goes pitching down again. At least we're in space so that there isn't issues as far as, you know, angle of attack, attitude loss types of things, but, you know, I don't know. Okay, it's bringing down the apogee. Okay, let's take the time warp off. 18 seconds left in the in this stage. And 2, 1, done. Okay, so that's it running out of fuel. As it is wont to do, we'll disengage. We will lock to the prograde vector. We have an apogee of 445 kilometers. Who knows? Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. We'll let that lock onto prograde, and we are just under 4 minutes from apogee. Okay, so we're going to do a little physics warp so that the vessel can stay locked to prograde. Okay. 3 minutes. And got 2 minutes to apogee. 1.5 minutes. Okay. 30 seconds. Let's get off here. Again, a few seconds before we get to apogee. Gonna fire up our McJobs here. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, go. I am ecstatic about this. I'm ecstatic about. Okay, so we got an apogee of 1,900 kilometers. We have a perigee of 445 kilometers. All of that is within the bounds of this contract. That's gone green. As well, it should be in communication range the whole time. We have just under 2 days, 1 day and 4 hours worth of batteries. Again, it just needs to last for a day. I think I might have it finally. Oh my gosh. So the thing to do is to go for a 400 by 400 kilometer orbit. I should have realized that earlier. All right. Let's get this back. Do some final touches. Okay, so I am actually very, very pleased with how that turned out. I think the rocket itself is fine. Note the only tooling is a little bit for this guy up here. Let's just color it a bit. I don't think I can color this. No. That cannot be changed in color, so we'll match the nose cone to that by opening up the color GUI. Color GUI. Now, actually, just hang on a second. Just one last thing before I get too carried away. Contract go away. I always look at the internal antennas here, but do I have like... Because the Real Explorer 1 had these... Actually, I don't even think... Were they antennas or were they some sort of gyro stabilizing thing? The things that went out. Because one of the things you did with older rockets too, and you see them actually with model rockets, they use these a lot, where they gyro stabilize the rocket, but then they want to calm the spinning down, and what you have are weights on strings, And when you've inserted yourself and you're all ready to just stop the stupid spinning, you just simply let the weights go, and they'll go out centrifugally out there. But by spreading out the weight, you lower the spin rate. Conservation of angular momentum at play. Is that what the Explorer 1 had? I don't know, or were they antennas? But anyway, that is a long discussion by saying there are antennas I have. Like I got this, there's these Sputnik doobies. I can't even pick that up. Why can't I pick that up? Are they so small I can't see them? Or are they? No. Why can't I pick that up? Okay, close this. Maybe that's why. There we go. Okay, so these are like little Sputnik antennas. And then there's the classic Communitron 16 and then the Communitron 16S. Are these... These are 30 dBms, which is the same as the built-in antenna. So these seem to be exactly the same as the built-in antenna. Communication 30 dBms. It uses 20 watts when active. That's the same as this. So it's exactly the same. Is this exactly? So they're all exactly the same. It's just whether you want to. I get it. So you can take out probably the antennas here. Like if you just disable the antenna, is that all you would do? And then do you lose that weight? Yeah, you do lose a little bit of weight. So it's that's an aesthetic choice. So if you wanted to do, we're not going to do that. Okay. Sorry, just a thought. There's no advantage to that. So what we're going to do, back to here, open the coloring tool, close that, and we're going to select ourselves a nice little pattern, probably make it black and white, kind of match what else, everything else that's going on with this rocket. Patterns are in here though, you dope. Yeah, dope. That I want to keep for the color, but this is where you select your patterns. Here we go. So I could go with the boring stripey thing that I'm going. That seems to be what's happening with everything else here. I could also go with those kinds of stripey stripes, which I don't hate. Oh, and just stripes right to the top without the cap part. Kind of like what's going on with that. And checkers and that. You know what? Let's go with this one. This one seems okay. And we are going with the base color being... this just looks like kind of white paint, doesn't it? I want to match what's going on, but it's not stock white. Oh, maybe it is stock. Well, that looks very stock whitish, doesn't it? And then this color... Right now it looks a little darker than what's going on here. So to match what's going on there, let's go... I don't think it's not dark gray, but it might be kind of like a stock black color. Then there's just black. Oh, black looks like the color, doesn't it? Does that look the same all the way down? It looks pretty close. We'll go with that. Minor change there. The other thing I'm gonna do is write down some flight stuff, some flight instructions, because by the time whenever this thing gets launched, I am guaranteed I shall forget. So we're gonna add in another set of flight instructions. So these will be flight mission number, mission number 5. And we're gonna have to make another boot file for this too. So this will be mission 5. It's very much like this one. No, wait a minute. No. Ascent parameters. This is the one I need. We'll copy. Okay. So print ascent parameters, it was 400 by 400 was what we did. And the doobie here was an inclination of current, which just means, you know, our current inclination, our current latitude. All of these numbers I didn't change. Stop at stage 1 doesn't change. That's cool. Okay, so we're going to save that. Now I want the boot file. So I had an Atlas Orbit boot. This is going to have to be save as. And this is going to be, you can't see what I'm saving it as. Those Windows menus don't come up, but this is going to be an Explorer boot file. Save that. So now you can see Explorer boot. And we are doing flight instructions number. Got to save these. Oh, I got I got an extra curly brace there. Okay, now I can save that. Mission number 5. Mission number 5 for Explorer boot. Everything else is ducky. There we go. Boom. Get rid of you. Back to here. Get to that boot file. Oh, I gotta use the KOS. Where's that one? KOS reload boot folder. Or reread boot folder, and I should have an Explorer boot option. There it is. Explorer boot. Excellent. Okay, and this is saved for future consideration. Oh my gosh, I was getting a little bit annoyed with it, but I'm kind of glad I almost bailed on it, just temporarily, but I'm kind of glad I stuck with it. So let's get out of here. That was a lot of time to spend on that. But it's gonna be worth it when it's done. Okay, so we can probably do some hirings. And we do have stuff coming up. So let's open up our staff. We have 8,231. No big purchases on the horizon. So right now I'm at we'll do a 5 and a 5. So we researchers hire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With engineers hire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put them straight into the Atlas complex. And we will do a. How do you do that warp to goal thing again? Was it in here? Warp to a funding target. Again, we'll go to 6,000 and we'll do some. Actually, no, let's try. You can get into staff here, auto hire. Atlas complex. I'm just nervous about doing this. Keep a reserve fund of 5,000. Keep a reserve fund of 4,000. And okay, let's just say 4,000, not 400, 4,000. Oh God, I can't remember what it was at. What are we at for the 165? Okay, I think I'm more comfortable if I switch to researchers and do the auto hire researchers. Okay, right now we're at 445. So if I make a goal of 500 researchers and say give the reserve funds for 4,000 and say add. So now it's going to automatically hire researchers up to, and I've already forgotten what I did. Oh, here, this is where we reach our 500 researchers. And if I put a goal of 25 more engineers for the Atlas, that'll put it at half. I'm just playing around with this. So engineers, Atlas Launch Complex, 25 will put this up to 190. Yes, so auto hire to 190. Again, leave reserve funds of 4,000. Now, I don't know if those two will conflict with each other now. So let's see what we can do here. So if I start time warping, oh, it takes out. Okay, we can't have two of them going at the same time. That's what confuses it. Okay, well I will be at 190 engineers. Okay, let's see what happens here. So warp to complete. So you can't have two of them. I was thinking about that. Now I can warp to complete to the auto hiring of those engineers to 190. That's pretty cool. Okay, and now if I go to researchers and put researchers, auto hire them to 500. Again, leave 4,000 funds reserve. Boom. And now that's set as a research goal. Oh, that works kind of neat way to do it too. And then just keeping the researchers at exactly half. So what it just does is just keeps hiring them automatically. I like it. I like it. Okay. So we're getting our X15 training proficiency done next. Okay. And that means that our pilots are ready for some mission training. So going to here, training, the X15 mission training. We'll chunk them both in there. That's going to take them 13, 14 days. There we go. We do have the Bell X6 coming up. So let's time warp to that. Yeah, I think so. Okay, crew updates. They have been trained. And then we got our research goal coming up next. And then we got very shortly after that the Bell X6. And I think that's what we're going to be shooting for with this one. Okay, and Bell X6. Okay, let's do that. So now now it's not. Okay, okay, that's a nice way to handle the staffing too. I like it. Okay. Bell X6, okay, has now been... What happened to it? It should be oh yeah, it's always when the scroll bar goes down below. Okay, let's prep that for air launch. We have trained pilots. It's going to take 4 days for it to air launch. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited. I also should fix my contracts. Remember that I took out, so first scientific satellite, get rid of that. It's the first solar power satellite that's going to be done first. Do that. Okay. All right, mount that to the carrier. Oh, it's mounting to the carrier. Okay. All right. And we're going to time warp to sunrise. Okay, and we're going to air launch you. Now, I have forgotten. I can check it, though. If I go to here, what did I say to air launch to? It was in the flight instructions. So I do have an X-plane boot. It was mission number 5 or mission number 1. Mission number 1 says to 315 degrees from the KSC, 135 degrees for the azimuth, 400 kilometers away. Okay, cool. Glad I had that. Okay, back to here. Air launch. So 400 kilometers. 315 degrees. Launch azimuth was 135. Let's just check that real quick because I can't change that once. Yes. Okay. All right, and we shall launch. And a shirt, George. I don't know who went last, but we'll go with George. Seems to have jumped into the cockpit. They both should be ready. A little nervous. Nervous. Okay. We have a lot of extraneous windows. We'll deal with them in just a bit. But right now, we're getting ready to air launch. 1 and go. Come on. All right. Pitching up. Okay. Pitch up to about I think I wrote down here somewhere, didn't I? Oh no, okay. I think I remember getting up to 60 degrees. Oh my gosh, this thing is terrifying. Okay, close all these McJeb windows. You, and you are gone. Cruise flight controller up. Oh dear, we have an engine failure. We have an engine failure. What failed? Oh dear, okay. Stage. We had, yep. I'm amazed that was able to hold attitude. Oh my gosh, okay. Pitch up. Pitch up. We're still going for it. So one of the okay, well, we can do this. We can, well, maybe we can. I don't know. I don't know. Keep that, and we're going up, 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 up. Up is the key, not speed. So what happened there? One of those U-25 motors just failed, and starting to get some attitude control, so I think the best plan was simply ditching that. We're going to crewed missions here on our contract. Oh my gosh, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we are going for the Karman line, which is simply an altitude of 100 kilometers. I might be able to still do this, because once I was doing it before, I was coming up with all kinds of... Okay. Let's put on RCS. I had lots of extra fuel on this thing. It does not want to pitch up any higher than it already is. Struggling just to hold the pitch that it's got. Okay, let's close this. This is just in the way. Okay, we have 40 kilometers on the apogee, just about right now. We do, and we are starting to pitch forward. Unfortunately, this thing was designed to still have those stupid rockets attached at this point in terms of balance and stuff goes. And my gear is up. Oh my gosh. This is no, I'm done. That's why. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. This one's a disaster. This one's a disaster. We still got to get our pilot back. But the gear was up that whole time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are 50 kilometers on the apogee. Still pitching up hard. Still pitching up hard. We are going to still try. We are picking up a lot of speed. We are doing a crew report, right? We should be doing crew reports up here. Above the high warm subtropics. High above. We are... Again, I'm trying to pitch up as best I could. That could have gone better. 60 kilometers on the apogee. I'm a little worried about the speed, but maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. We are going to be running out of fuel soon. I think I might have been able to do it if it wasn't for the fact that the frickin' landing gear were still deployed. My gosh. Uh, 70 kilometers. We've just cracked a crude speed record of 2,000 meters per second. We are going to also crack a crude altitude record of 70 kilometers, but that's going to be the end of that. McJeb, RCS, lock you onto prograde, please. Oh my gosh, I was so unprepared for all of that. Okay. There we go. Take off the master switch. McJeb's taking control. Okay, so here we go, here we go. Okay, let's plan our descent. Now, we got quite a lot of speed, which I honestly am not a fan of. We're going to try and level off at a 30-kilometer altitude. We're going to have a very shallow descent. That is going to be the plan. And we're going well over the KSC. We're not worrying about that at all. Our heading of 133 will just be maintained. There we go. Okay. So we did crack a couple of records. We are collecting science, so there is that. We do want to get our crew back home. I'm going to take off the smart here and go to stock SAS and just try and do the best I can. Trying to just hold attitude here. Oh, we should deploy flaps and try and slow down. Oh my gosh, I was spending so much time with rockets lately, I forgot all about this. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because of our speed. I will admit, I am not a fan. I'll put on that cruise flight controller, but right now I don't put on the master switch. I'm still just doing this manual-like. I was very, very ill-prepared for all of that. Okay, we are coming down. Let's go to standard fly-by-wire and put on the master switch and just pull up. I think I'm probably out of RCS. I think so. Let's turn it off. I don't hear it anymore. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like. So slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, lost the heat bar. Lost the heat bar. Nice. Okay, let's set this for 20 kilometers and engage it. Okay, where are we relative to the launch? Okay, we are quite a ways from the launch site. Probably not going to... Everything was set to do a very high parabolic arc. What I'm feeling good about, I don't know if I can make it back to the runway, but what I am feeling good about is that we didn't blow up. That was the overall goal there for sure. Okay, let's see if we can... let's make sure those G's are moderated. And let's see if we can head back to the waypoint. Okay, turn that off. And try and turn around. We'll also start decreasing our altitude. Our speed is very comfortably. I think we're going in the water. We are going in the water. We're done with our crew report. So how much data did we collect here? We collected some hypersonic flight science. I've forgotten that was a thing. That was on this thing still. So 0.4 kilometer of hypersonic flight science. As soon as we were above 40 kilometers, it wasn't collecting that anymore. But crew report, 1.4 crew reports over the warm subtropics. So that's cool. That's cool. Let's bring this... Yeah, that was still set. The climb angle was still set to 5 degrees. We also got a crude altitude record of 70 kilometers and a crude speed record. So good, but did not cross the Karman line because that was an absolute fiasco. Now it's about just getting our pilot back. That's okay. We can turn this thing around. I just realized as well, after it's recovered, I got to remount. Okay, let's start even time warping here. I've got to remount the... Do I still got flaps? Do I still have flaps? Oh no, they're off. Okay. No, we are definitely not making it back to the KSC, but that's okay. Yeah, the arc was meant to be much higher than that. Not as shallow as this one is, but that's okay. Adjustments will be made. We'll remount those rockets, and we will try again. Yeah, let's take off that waypoint. That's just there taunting us. We are certainly not going to make it there. That's okay. It was a first try. First try with this crazy plane. We got up. We broke some records. We're coming back. We collected some science. What else you want? Okay, I am going to, again, start deploying some things here to try and slow down. We're going a little fast. While that's happening, why don't we actually, let's take the brakes off again. We have some messages here. We have a crude record, 33 reputation for setting that new speed record. We've got altitude record, 70 kilometers, 12 reputation for that. Can always use reputation that generates subsidies for you. And, oh, we got some leaders. Okay, a lot of these names are familiar. I'm pretty sure I've unlocked these before, but okay, didn't know that was something that was in the cards. We'll have to check out the administrative building when this is all said and done. I need to put the brakes back on. Will be getting plunked out of the ocean. Okay, going to standard fly-by-wire. Getting down nice and low. We're going to get this as slow as we can, and then we're going to try and water ditch. And the key to water ditching is just getting your speed as low as you can. Trying to minimize that impact. So basically, I'm just going to kind of fly level as best I can, just a little bit above the water, and until I sort of really kind of just stall the plane and try and hit the water at the slowest speed as I can do it. Yeah, still slowly bringing me. Yeah, I'm kind of level. Kind of level, 70 meters per second. I can see my shadow on the water over on the left there. Whoa, now it's going down. Whoa, yep, that's it. All right, air down. Okay, we are there. All right, so we'll get this thing recovered. We will re-outfit it. We will try that again, but I think that's all going to have to be for a future episode. So in the meantime, I thank you for watching and hope to see you again for the next one.